So that's what we're going to be going over today. What is PDM? Why is it important? PDM stands for Product Data Management. It's used in the industry pretty much anywhere in any engineering company to manage and store the products they're developing. And because we kind of want to train you all for industry, we're going to be using PDM as well to manage our documents as well. Everyone in the club, regardless of what discipline or what focus you're using, everyone is going to need to be able to access the PDM software and use it. And some examples of what we can use it for: one, obviously storing your robot CAD designs. But even if we get into like electrical component designs, designing custom switches and stuff like that, we're going to store those files on PDM. Even the Arena, when we're upgrading Arena or adding little things to update and improve our Arena, we're going to be storing that on the PDM software as well. So it starts to become really useful. Comparing PDM to, Google Drive or File Explorer, you see some of the cons for Google Drive here. Files get corrupted. It's hard to search for files. They get overwritten, and you can't look back and see the revisions of them. Whereas on PDM, on Aras Innovator specifically, which is the PDM software we use, you can go back, you can look at the past histories of the part. So if you mess something up or want to change something, revert to an old version, you can do that. Additionally, we have our search capabilities are a lot more powerful on PDM, and we can have better security as well with those parts. So when you're using the Aras Innovator system, we have part documents, we have CAD documents, we have assemblies, and I'm going to go through and explain what each of those looks like. So a part document on the PDM system can represent any part in your robot. So you're going to have, and it can also represent an assembly. So the way this kind of looks is you're going to have one part document called your top level assembly, which within it holds all the parts for your robot and the assembly CAD file for your robot. Additionally, part documents are going to store metadata like the name, the type, and any information you include in the description. So as you can see, for this part, it's a flathead cap screw, 420 thread pitch, half-inch length plastide. It's a standard part. The CAD file is in inch units, and the screw is a number for imperial screw. It says buy instead of make buy, so buy tells us this isn't a part we print, this is a part that we buy from a source, and we're able to include in the long description the McMaster part ID, and that's really useful so that we can go back and actually find the place for this part. And so each part document itself holds additional documents within it. If you have a part document that represents an assembly, it's going to reference multiple other parts. It also, as you can see down here, contains the CAD document for this screw. And later on, once we get into more advanced methods of manufacturing, you're going to chuck your part drawings on here, you're going to chuck the step files or the STLs on here. So the part document is kind of the basis for everything else within Aras. It's where we store most of the information. Searching for part documents. So I'm just going to go ahead and do a live demonstration of this. So once you all log into Aras and get on the web browser, it's going to look like this. I know it's a lot to take in, so I'm going to break it down step by step. Right here, these 9 dot cubes open this menu, and the ones that you're going to be using most often are design and documents. And within design, you're going to be looking at parts. Within documents, you're going to be looking at CAD documents. So let's say I want to find a standard part CAD file for one of the Malinky Nano receivers that we're using. I'm going to go hit parts over here. I'm going to select search parts, and I get to this menu over here. And there's a lot of different fields that we can search by to find our part. The most important fields is going to be assigned creator. We're sharing this server with other clubs, so you will see other clubs' files on here. So to make sure that you're only searching for and working with Railside Robotics parts, you need to go to the assigned creator and select Railside Robotics. You can do that by going, alright, so you go here, you click this button, and it gives you a search menu. You go to name, and you type in Railside, and you could type out Railside Robotics in search, but as you start using this more and more often, it's going to get tedious typing out Railside Robotics the entire time. So as a shortcut, you can type Railside and then asterisk. Asterisk is a special character, it's a wildcard, and it basically means you can have any number of characters after this asterisk, and it'll find it. So when I hit search like this, now I get Railside Robotics. Yeah, it's misspelled. But I click this, highlight it yellow, and I press OK. And now when I hit search, it shows me every single Railside Robotics part document within Aras Innovator. Now let's say I want to search all the standard documents for all the standard parts within all of Railside's part documents. For that, I'll go to type, I'll hit this button, and I go part component, and I select standard part. So standardized parts are like the screws, the electronics, the ones that everyone uses. You will not be uploading standard parts, I'll be doing that. But you will be able to download them here and access them. And as you can see, I have a bunch of different parts. I have these plastite screws. We have the FingerTech brushless speed controller, Malinky Nano, the power switch, and the motors. Not all the parts that the club uses are on here yet, but I'm working on getting them up as soon as possible. So this just shows how to search for the standardized parts. I mentioned I was looking for the Malinky Nano. To open it, I double click it here, and I open up this, I get this view opened up, and so now I can see the name, it's a standard part, it has the description, it has the link, it has the assigned team and designated user, both are Railside Robotics, and when I go over creating parts, you're always going to also set these to Railside Robotics so that we can find our parts. Another really cool thing that we can do with the Aras is if you go over here and click this button, you can view the part itself in Aras when it loads. So you can see this is just a little CAD mock-up of the Malinky Nano. It's not what it looks like, but it has the correct dimensions, so you can chuck it in your assembly and see the correct dimensions. I've also went in and overridden the mass for every single component. So for something like the ESC, right, we can view that as well. When you import these into the assembly, they'll have the correct weight, so that'll help you estimate the weight of your robot. So yeah, searching for part documents. Once again, the wildcard you can see over here allows me to search for all Railside Robotics parts. If I wanted to find just the plastite screws in the screenshot, you see I put the wildcard before the term plastite because plastite is at the end of the names, and now I can see all the various plastite screws that we're offering. Let's say you want to search for all your robot CAD documents. I'm going to demo that later and explain what the 4-letter code of your robot code name means. So that's searching for part documents. Now within each part document, we have a CAD document that's linked to it, and this represents the actual CAD file. The part document does not represent the SOLIDWORKS file. The CAD document is going to be the one that has your SOLIDWORKS file. And every time you update this CAD document, you actually add a new version to the CAD document. So that means we can go back and retrieve older versions of the SOLIDWORKS file you're working with in case you want to look at them later. And once again, the CAD documents allow you to view the parts in the browser without downloading them. Searching for CAD documents is really similar to searching for the part documents. There's a different UI, and you can also find them in the part documents. I'll demo both of those. So Aras Innovator, I once again go here, and to find a certain CAD document, I can go to the CAD documents and hit search CAD documents. And if I hit search, it shows me every single CAD document that I have the ability to view, which isn't great, right? Let's say we just want to find the CAD document for the plastite screws. Assign creator, Railside Robotics. Name, we can type in wildcard plastite. And with just these two search terms, I'm able to open up the CAD documents for the plastite screws. I double click it to open it up. And now I can see metadata regarding this CAD document. So it says the type, it's just a part, authoring tool SOLIDWORKS. It shows me the native file, and this is going to be a SOLIDWORKS part file. So if I click this, I can download it. And it goes to my downloads folder, and I can open it up in SOLIDWORKS over here. So that's how you're going to access these parts for your SOLIDWORKS. There's also a viewable file. That's the same file over here. But Aras Innovator, when we upload CAD documents, automatically creates a 3D PDF file that you can download and view as well. So that's really handy. Another way to find the CAD document of a part, if you don't want to be searching through the CAD documents viewer every time, is you can find your part itself on the part search function. And when you find your part, let's say we want to find the power switch, we double click it. If you go down here to the CAD documents tab, it has a link to the CAD document. So I double click this to open it, and boom, we have the CAD document in Aras open. I can download this now, and I can open it up in SolidWorks and import it into my assemblies or view it. So that's searching for CAD documents. Before I go into creating those documents yourself and accessing Aras Innovator, I'm going to talk about our part naming convention. So because we're going to have so many different files from so many different teams on one server in one search button, it's going to get tedious and confusing if we have random names for the parts. So for this semester and all semesters going forward, every single part that you, every custom part that you make is going to follow the naming convention. This is the naming convention for this semester. So it starts off with a 4-letter code representing your robot, and this should make somewhat sense. So for example, for Ted Cruz, the 4-letter code would be TDCZ. It kind of sounds like Ted Cruz. Then the asterisk represents a character. It's going to be A or P, and the A means this part is an assembly. The P means this part is a part. Then you have 2 digits representing your assembly ID. 2 represents 2 digits representing your part ID, and then your part's name. So I know this is a lot. I'm going to show some examples. Part assembly IDs. By the way, these slides are going to be shared as well, so you can go back, reference them when you're naming your parts. But these are the assembly IDs, but named part examples. So TD's Ted Cruz A000TLA. This part here represents Ted Cruz's top level assembly, and I'll pull it up on my computer as well just to show. So right here, that's the top level assembly, and then some other examples. We go by TDCZ is the same code because it's all the same robots all the same robot CAD files. We have P for the part, and then O2 as referenced on this document here. O2 represents the chassis part. So O200 is just the chassis, O202 is the top plate. Then this here is an assembly for the drive pod, and I'll just open that up to show you. But because it's a drive part, it goes under the O3 assembly ID, which is represented by this name. So that's how part naming is going to work. When you upload them on Aras, you're going to upload, or when you create parts on Aras, you're going to follow this naming convention to make searching for parts and downloading the correct part easier. Since we follow these assembly IDs as well, your teammates will be able to look at the ID, the number of a part, and say, oh, it starts with a 03, that's a drive part. It starts with a 04, that means it's one of the weapons. And if you have any questions, I'll be able to answer them after this meeting, as well as at our design meetings on the weekends as well. So yeah. Alright, so part and CAD document creation. So I'm going to do a live demo, and if you want to reference this later, I'm going to work on, I don't know if I'll be able to get it done this week, but I'll work on like creating a PDF or something with instructions, but you'll also be able to watch the video of me doing this right now later on. So let's say I have this document here. This is the chassis of my very impressive robot, and I want to get it uploaded to Aras. So first things first, you can see I've already named the CAD document, and I'll pull it up in the file in my computer file explorer. I've named it test P0201 chassis. Once again, test is just the 4-letter code. Test is taken by me, so you can't name your robot test. P is the part. 02 represents that it's a chassis part. 01 is the first chassis part, and then the name chassis. So I have this part on my file. How do I get it to Aras? So first, I'm going to go to the navigation panel. I'm going to parts and press create new part. And over here, I have a bunch of metadata to fill out. So the part name is going to be the same one, is going to follow your naming convention. So as I just explained, test P021 chassis. Part type. So once you open this menu, you have a bunch of different types. For all the models that you guys create, those are going to be either assemblies or components. And if you're creating a component, you can imagine Railside Robotics as the company using this PDM software. So in the PDM software, this part is called a company part. So we select that for the type. Unit, this is just the whatever unit your CAD file uses. I CAD in inches, so I select inch. Make or buy. Since all the parts you guys are uploading, actually no, not all the parts you guys upload are going to be made parts, right? You might be downloading, or you might be buying, a shaft and putting it, or like a shoulder bolt and putting that in your robot. So if you're getting a part that you're ordering, uploading it to the PDM software, then you'll select buy. But this part is a chassis that I'll 3D print and use to put my bot together with. So I'm going to select make. Assigned team is always Railside Robotics. So you can search, select it. You can also just copy it and type it in. Designated user is always going to be, for this semester, Railside Robotics. Long description, this is optional. I'm going to put in descriptions for all the standard parts so you guys know what they are. It's your guys' choice to enter in a description for your parts. I hit done. Now I've created my part file, but I haven't actually uploaded the CAD document and the CAD file alongside it. So to create the CAD document for this, I go to the navigation, CAD documents, create new document, create new CAD document. The name is going to be the same as before, so I'm just going to copy that. Type will be, you open this up, everything is going to be either an assembly. If it's an assembly, this is just a single part, so it's CAD mechanical part. Authoring tool will be SolidWorks. You can type that in, it auto-completes it. You can put in a version, it's up to you. I don't version my parts because it's too much of a hassle. Aras, of course, automatically saves the versions of your parts as well, so you'll be able to go back and look at those. Assigned creator and designated user. It's really important that you always select Railside Robotics for your assigned creator and designated user. If you don't do this, then other people on your team will not be able to view the parts. I won't be able to view the parts. So you're going to make sure to do that. And then native file. Before I can select the file, I need to close it in SolidWorks. So I'm just going to close that and select it from my computer. Nope. And then I hit done. And so now I've created the CAD document, but it's not linked to my part. So I'm going to go back to my part. I'm going to hit edit and go to CAD documents. And over here, this button allows me to add an existing CAD document. So now I get a search menu, and in the search menu, I'm going to search for, I'll put Railside Robotics as assigned creator. Remember, every single part that's made with this club, the assigned creator field should always be Railside. You should always be able to search for it with Railside and asterisk, and the name. So this is where the part naming convention comes in real handy. Since I named the CAD document, I started with the 4-letter code test. I can now go to the name and type in test asterisk and I enter to search, and now it shows the CAD document I just created. So I hit OK. It shows up here in the CAD documents, and I need to hit done to save it. And now that it's done, now I'm done. I've got my CAD document and my part document uploaded. And what's really handy is while I was busy uploading or connecting the CAD document to the part document, Aras Innovator automatically created a 3D viewer file for that document. So now I can view it in Aras. So this is going to be, I love this feature, it's just really useful. Now let's say I update this CAD, alright, sorry, let me go back. So now I've got my CAD file uploaded to the part. Let's say someone else on the team wants to download this file and make a change to it. So you can do this from any computer. I'm demoing it from my computer again. But first, to find that document, we go to Parts, Search Parts, Test asterisk, Railside, hit search, found the part, CAD documents. If it says this item is already open from a different configuration, that means you've already got it open. Up here, it saves every tab of every part you've opened like a browser would, and it also tells me the document number, so it tells me that this document up here is already the one I have. One thing to be wary of is this does not automatically update, this tab does not automatically update when the part itself gets updated. So every time you switch back and you know someone else has made a change on the PDM software, you need to press this refresh button to get the most updated version of that CAD document, of that part document. To download it, I go to native file, I press download. Now I can download it, open it, and make the change I want to make. Let's say there wasn't enough clearance for the wheels. Quickly make that change. Save it, close it, and then to update it, I go and I hit edit. I click this icon here. This one tricked me. So you don't click the link here, you click this icon, and you're able to now go in and update it with the new part that you just edited. And once you hit done, now the updated CAD document is on Aras, and everyone on your team will be able to access it. So that's all I'm going over for today. I did not talk about assemblies. I'll talk about that on Thursday. But what that means is right now you can upload documents, you can retrieve them, but you can't put them all together. The whole process of working with assemblies is a little bit more complicated, which is why I'm going over it on Thursday. But between then, you'll still be able to upload individual CAD documents and have different members of your team access them. Alright, so to access Aras Innovator, you're going to go to this website, which is on, the link is also on Slack, so if you don't want to type that out, you can go to Slack. Your username will be your Purdue username, the password will also be your Purdue username. So after you log in, you're going to want to go to the top right, click change password, change your password to something that's not your Purdue username.